Okay, here's my race report for the 2024 Los Angeles Marathon. I'm gonna do it now, like literally right after the race, probably like 2 or 3 hours after the race, since it's still fresh in my mind, and I'm gonna get lazy and not do it later. And there's a ton of traffic anyway, so I might as well do something productive while I wait. So I'm gonna go over what my training looked like before the race, my my uh, my nutrition and fueling strategy, my race day like plan in terms of like pacing, and what actually happened during the race. So first off, we'll start with the training. So I just did the Ventura Marathon 3 weeks ago, and so I didn't really have like a training block per se for this for the LA Marathon, and I don't really think of training in blocks. I mainly run for like my physical and my mental health, so these races are just kind of like a nice cherry on top. I might increase the volume or do a little bit more speed work to prepare for races, but generally I run for my mental physical health. So after the Ventura Marathon, I took 4 days off. Usually I run Tuesday, Thursday, either Saturday or Sunday for the long run. But that week after the Ventura Marathon, I took that Tuesday off, and I didn't run again until that Thursday. And so that week was already a recovery week, coming back from the Ventura Marathon. And then the week before the Los Angeles Marathon was also like a recovery week. So I really only had 1 week of regular training. But I don't think there's anything I could have done that would have improved my fitness. So it was more just like maintenance mode of what I've already done for Ventura. And by extension, Ventura was already what I was already doing for Santa to the Sea. And Santa to the Sea was already an extension of what I did for Joshua Tree. So I kind of have like these races lined up, so I always have some base level of fitness to work with, like a really strong foundation. So I'm pretty happy about that. So that's my training for leading up to the race. My nutrition, so I usually like to carb load like 2 to 3 days before the race. I just have a lot more rice. I think that's easy for me to do, especially being Asian. I just have more rice. The meal before the marathon, I had jasmine rice, some beef, like stir-fried beef, and some like boiled bok choy. I'm not sure if I had enough carbs from the rice. I did eat a lot of rice, but I didn't feel as energetic in the morning or this morning, and I felt a little bit hungry. But when I weighed myself, I was 3 pounds heavier than I usually am. So I think that's a good sign that I think I was carb loading okay. I just didn't feel 100%, which is okay. Also, like the Los Angeles Marathon was a lot hotter than the Ventura one. The Ventura one was pretty cool, like 60 degrees Fahrenheit. But Los Angeles, I was looking at the Garmin Connect stats, and I think it went from like 55 on the min, and the max was like 90 degrees. Like, that's fairly hot. I'm not used to running in that sort of weather, and that maybe caused some cramps, which I'll talk about later during the race. Let me see. The Bib Pick Up, we did that on Saturday. I went with Francisco, and we went to Dodger Stadium for that. So the expo was pretty cool. They had a bunch of like vendors and stuff, and I think it's pretty standard procedure with the expo. Very big expo, also considering that there's a lot of people. Yeah, so here's what my bib looked like. I really like the number that I got because it's an even number. I let Francisco go first so that he can get the odd number. He got 18,203, so I was happy about that. I was like, I'd rather have 204. So yeah, we picked up the BIP on Saturday, and then Sunday today was the race. We live about an hour away from LA, so we had to wake up like pretty early. I woke up at like 2 in the morning, I didn't sleep until like 9:30, which would be fairly early on a regular day, but considering I had to wake up at 2 in the morning, it's only got like 4.5 hours of sleep, which is not ideal. But I always usually sleep like really poorly before a race because of all the excitement and whatnot. So 4.5 hours of sleep. I went to go pick up Francisco. We hit a Century City Mall, which is where I'm at right now, and we dropped the car off here. I bring my H&M like active like sweater and the bag where you're supposed to put whatever your personal belongings for the gear check. But what happened was that I didn't know the gear check closed at 6:30, so I went to go use the bathrooms first. And when I realized that the gear check was at 6:30, it was already like 6:50 to like 7. I was like, oh crap. So I just had to leave my jacket at Dodger Stadium, and it's probably going to be donated somewhere, which is a bummer because I really like that jacket, and that was kind of like the jacket that I used to wear after all my runs to make sure, you know, sweat doesn't get everywhere. So kind of sucks, but that means I can get like a better jacket that that is lighter and more portable, and maybe I can just take that with me. So already at the beginning of the race, I was kind of bummed about losing that jacket. I was thinking about like putting it in like a random bush or something, or tree, so that I could like go get it later. But I didn't end up doing that because it looked kind of sus. So I just left it where all the other people had their jackets. Like along the start line, everyone that was gonna have their jackets disposed, they like lined it up against the railing on the sides of the start line or near the start line. So it's kind of weird seeing like all these jackets like everywhere. It's like, oh. Let me see. So yeah, we get to Dodger Stadium race day today around I want to say 6:30, and first we go to the bathroom, which it took like half an hour to actually go to the bathroom because there was a ton of people, and they were like, we were waiting in line for a very long time. It turns out that there were other porta potties that we could have used that were further away. So honestly, we should have just went to those instead of waiting at this longer one that was closer to the shuttle pickup. But that's for next year. We'll keep that in mind for next year. Let's see what else. Yeah, so we waited in line for half an hour for the bathroom. I got to do my business, which is great because I had a Alani's cherry slush drink, energy drink. I started to drink that right at the beginning of the shuttle ride because the shuttle ride was from Century City to Dodger Stadium, and so I think I timed it like perfectly. I usually go like an hour and a half to 2 hours. Those energy drinks makes me want to go to the bathroom, so I think it was perfect timing. That made that got to gave me the opportunity to flush my system, which is nice. Let me see what else. And then Francisco and I, we do our like 1 1/3 mile, 1.3 mile like shakeout run, which is nice because in some of my previous races, I didn't do as long of a shakeout run as I wanted to. So it was nice to do that, to just get the legs going. And I wasn't going very fast for me. I was going 12 minutes per mile pace. Once we reached like a mile into the shakeout run, I noticed that the gear checks, they still haven't left yet, so I should have just stopped and tried to get my jacket into that truck, the gear check truck, but I didn't. And so Francisco and I we made a U-turn to head like back towards the gear check trucks or vans, and they were already like ready to go. They already had their the gate, the back part, like already closed and everything. So I just had to leave the jacket. All right, I'll stop talking about the jacket. I was really planning to keep it. That's why I'm kind of like bummed about losing it. So yeah, Francisco and I, we didn't start the race until like 7:30. So the race started at 7. Shakeout run, bathroom, all that stuff, that took like half an hour. So Francisco and I, we stayed together like the first mile, and that was my plan, just to just to warm up more, and also to run with Francisco, of course. We are on the first mile, about to approach the first mile. We're looking pretty good. Started half an hour early, but I think it's okay. We're running our own race. But yeah, I will update you guys on how I feel. Not really sure when. I'll keep you guys updated. But then after that, I was like, all right, let's get into marathon pace and go for it. So my marathon pace is 8:30, which I got to do for some of the race, but because I was in the open corral, so the open corral is just for everyone, and I didn't get my Ventura time in time enough to get into the faster corrals. So that was kind of a bummer. I got stuck behind a lot of people. I had to like weave in and out between a lot of people. And I think I did record myself like every other mile. I think I recorded like all the odd miles. Because I think I'm trying to do that for every mile was a lot, because I had to like unzip my flip belt, take my phone out. And it was kind of a hassle to do that, so I was like, oh, I'll just do it every other mile. And so yeah, I got stuck behind a lot of people. But looking at my Garmin Connect stats, I was able to probably, I mean, I don't know my splits off the top of my head, but my result time was 4:15:02, which I'm really happy with, because I thought that I was gonna get 4:20 because I started half an hour later than when the race started, and when I saw the time when I crossed the finish line, it was at 4:50. So it's like, okay, 4:50 minus 30, that'd be 4:20. So I was like, oh, I got 4:20. But it turns out that I got 4:15, which is nice. I'm really happy with that. Not as fast as Ventura. This course is completely different from Ventura. Ventura is like a net negative. Most of it is downhill. I was like chilling during that race. This race was very difficult. There's a deceptive amount of hills, and they're like long, gradual hills. And so I might have like powered through some of them a little too hard. But we'll go through mile by mile. So like mile 1 through 6, I already felt like pretty comfortable between the first 6 miles because I did the preview run with Francisco. So I was already feeling pretty good about that, but it was just the weaving in and out of people was a bummer. It was cool getting to run with like a ton of people though. Like running down Sunset Boulevard, like I just see runners down the whole street. It's like actually insane the amount of runners that were here today. So yeah, mile 1 through 6 felt pretty good. There were some uphill portions around mile, I forgot what mile, I think it's like mile 4 or something, but again, since I did pre run, I felt pretty good. Okay, mile 3, I'm feeling not too bad. Legs are left foot's kind of stiff, but heart rate is at 167, average pace 841. I'm doing okay right now, keeping it easy. I'm waiting for the field to thin out to really pick up the pace. A little over mile 5. So many people have to weave in and out the traffic. Between like mile 7 and I want to say, I don't know, mile 12, I felt pretty good about that. That's when finally the race started to open up. So I stayed mainly on like the left side because it was like actually clear, and I can actually go at my marathon pace. Because before I was like stuck behind people, I was going like, I don't know, 9-10 minutes per mile pace, which is not my marathon pace. That's not what I wanted to do. I did also notice that it was starting to get like warm too. I was like, oh, this doesn't feel as good. Because Ventura, it was like, I don't know, 55, 60 degrees almost the whole way through. It didn't get hot until like towards the end. But here in LA, it got warmer faster. So, but I had to work harder to keep cool. I did go to like every other electrolyte or water station for like maybe the first half of the race, but then after that, I think I started to go to every single one because I think I really needed the water. Mile 7 still has not cleared up. There's just a lot of people. I'm probably weaving in and out more than running. A lot of people had the like touch the power up, and someone had like a dangling one with the Mario Kart like golden cube, and I hit it, and this was around like mile I forgot what mile. I think it was like around mile like 11 or 12. I hit it, but I hit it too hard, so it like ripped the string, and then the box like hit like my mouth and like hit my teeth, and I didn't know if I was bleeding during the time. But I was like, oh, oops. I think I hit the box a little too hard. So I thought that was pretty funny. A little bit of damage at there's this power up that I was trying to get, and it hit my face. So my mouth kind of hurts. That's okay. We're on mile 11. 15 miles left. Other than that, my strategy was like to stay either on the left or the right side so I can actually go at my pace. Maybe if I was in one of the faster corrals, I could actually like stay in a pack, but couldn't really do that in open corrals. I did notice some other guys that were kind of going at my pace, so I was trying to keep up with them. But I think I noticed them like going too fast, so then I just like held my my pace like pretty steady. I tried to hold 8:30. There were some moments where I was going way too fast, like 7:45, 7:20. I was like, oh, I need to chill. I need to dial it back and save the energy for later. Mile 13. I'm really feeling it right now. I don't know if I can hold this pace, but the people are starting to thin out, which is good. So hopefully it gets a little bit easier. They don't have to weave in and out. Between mile like 12 and 16, there's like a really steep downhill. I want to say a mile 14. It was like past the Walk of Fame, and that was really nice having that downhill because I could go at like 7:45 pace and kind of make up for the time I was like weaving in and out of people, and I was going really slow. So that was nice, but that might have affected my calves a little too much because at around mile 16, that's when my calves were starting to get like shot, and I could tell like they were starting to pull, and then my left shoulder really started to like randomly pull like at the same time. So first it was my right calf. It was like, okay, well, let me use my like left calf more, or like lean more of my like weight towards my left calf. But then my left calf started to get shot. It's like, well, crap. So I just had to slow down my pace at around mile 16, and I was kind of bummed about that because, you know, I trained at 8:30 marathon pace, but I couldn't go at that pace. If I tried to go at that pace, I knew I would pull something and get injured, just from past experience, especially the first half marathon. So I made sure to dial it back, but still put in like some effort. So I pulled it back to like between 9 and 10 minute per mile pace. Mile 13. I'm really feeling it right now. I don't know if I can hold this pace, but the people are starting to thin out, which is good. So hopefully it gets a little bit easier. They don't have to weave in and out. I felt like I was suffering the rest of the way because the rest of the race just got like really difficult, you know, with the calves, and trying to make sure that I wasn't pulling them, making sure that my weight wasn't like wasn't gonna affect my calves too hard. Also like getting my left shoulder like locked up, that was like really like, that was starting to cramp, like lock up, not fun. But eventually, you know, that crampness in my left shoulder went away. Not in the calves though. I knew that if I ran too hard, or if I try to continue my marathon pace, I wouldn't make it. So gotta dial it back. Mile 17. My like left shoulder is locking up, and my right calf is doing the same. So I'm trying to keep the pace at 9 to 10 minutes a mile. I'm trying to keep it easy, but it's painful right now. Mile 18, people really don't like mile 18 in this race, because at mile 18 you can also see the finish line as well. And I can see why people hate mile 18. It's like, oh, all those people that are finishing the marathon, I wish I were them. And I get that sentiment. It was really cool seeing like all the people cheering. They were like concentrated at around mile 18, like the finish line area, and like really between like mile 18, I want to say mile like 20, that's where the most people supporting the runners were at. So that was really cool seeing that. I wish I could have fed off that energy and run faster, but I couldn't because my calves were damaged. So couldn't go as fast, but I really love the energy of the crowd. Like seeing all those people, that was nice. The one thing I didn't like is just the sheer amount of people. I had to weave in and out of a lot of people, and then other people were weaving in and out, you know, through me, like people that were faster than me. So that wasn't great in my opinion, weaving in and out. So maybe that was different in the other crowds, the faster crowds. Let me see. So I was already like dying at mile like 19, not even like hitting the wall at mile 20. I probably hit the wall at like mile 16 with the cramps. That's what it felt like. So mile like 21 to like the very end, it was just like me surviving. I did walk a little bit, but I just tried to run at a pace where I can hold it. And so I was going like either between like 10 and then 11 minutes per mile. And so I did that for pretty much the rest of the race. And I think mile like 22, 23, it's a gradual downhill, but the turnaround at mile 22 and on, it's all a gradual uphill, which is a real pain. I was running pretty slow. A lot slower than what my marathon pace, or what my expected marathon pace was going to be. Mile 21. My legs are pretty sore. I can feel them lock up like at any moment, so I gotta be careful and not go too hard. I'm basically at cruise control right now. I got 5 more miles. I did stop at like the last electrolyte like water station, which was at mile 25, I want to say. And from like halfway between like mile 25 and 26, like actually probably like around right before mile 26, like you can actually see the finish line. And so you can see in my data like where I pick up the pace a little bit because I see the finish line, which I thought was like really interesting. I was like, oh, the finish line, yes. And at that point, I didn't know if I could kick or not. But I did manage to kick. So I went from like 10-minute per mile pace to up to 7:45, which I'm like really happy with. I mustered all the energy I could find for that kick. And that was probably like the last, I don't know, 200 meters of the race. I would say like 100 to 200 meters. So that was nice having the energy for that, and I didn't cramp or pull anything at that point. I made it. I did a little kick at the end. Unofficial time, I did 4:20 actually. Oh, I'm so tired. And yeah, that's the race. I thought I finished it in 4:20. I finished it in 4:15:02. And here is the medal, which is really nice. St. Patrick's Day theme, since this is St. Patrick's Day. So that's cool. We got a lot of recovery food. One of my big complaint is that they don't give you any like bags or boxes, and so there's a ton of recovery food, but there's no way to actually hold it. And so they give you like the little plastic blanket, which is nice, but they don't give you a way to hold any of the recovery food. Which, interestingly enough, they actually gave us like Takia's recovery food, which is I don't know if that's good recovery food. I still think Vacation Races has the best recovery food, in my opinion, from all the races that I've been to. The other recovery food that I didn't get, it looked really good. I couldn't get it because I couldn't hold it. So I was like, how am I able to get any of this? So for the LA Marathon organizers, you should give bags at the end for all the recovery food. Buy bags or boxes or some way to hold all the food. There's so much recovery food, but there's no way to hold it. I'm like struggling right now. I also need to find a car. And then there's like a finish festival, which I went there to check out the medal, but the ribbon personalization thing, they're gonna mail it to you. So I was like, all right, cool, but you can engrave your time in the back, but I'm gonna get the ribbon customization right here. So yeah, I finished it in 4:15:02. I'll put footage of the race, I don't know, somewhere in the middle of this video. I'll probably already put it in. What else to say about the race? I think overall, like, even though I didn't PR, with how difficult the course is, I'm pretty happy with my result. I would say that. Like, deceptively a lot of hills, a lot of weaving in and out. I think I need to do more hill workouts because I need to strengthen my calves for those hills. Gear check earlier. Maybe carb load a little bit more. Oh, I took like all 6 of my gels like at a perfect time. Although I felt like I needed to take the gels sooner, like towards the end of the race, because I needed the extra energy because of all the cramping. But I didn't drop any of the gels like the Ventura Marathon, so that was good. I had all 6 gels this time. What else? Oh, and also like my shoes, I felt like the outer sole was like peeling from the midsole, or like the top portion of the shoe. I don't know, it was like a weird feeling. Like, it's kind of like sticky feeling. So I don't know if I should retire my Metaspeed Sky Pluses. At this point, they have like 200 miles on them. Maybe they can go for like 2 more marathons. I don't know, but I didn't feel the energy return as much for these shoes on this race. Maybe because there wasn't as many like gradual downhills for this race. I don't know. I mean, there were some there was like that really sharp downhill at around mile like 14, like 13, 14. But yeah. What else to talk about? I know this is a long one. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Not sure what else to say. So yeah, that's my experience with the LA Marathon for 2024. I'm thinking my next race is gonna be the this run that's happening at CSU CI to like help support autism. So I'm gonna go to that. And then I randomly signed up for the San Francisco Marathon like last minute because I got a really good coupon at the Expo, and I'm like, dang, that's exactly what they wanted you to do. But I couldn't pass up the 25% off. So I'm gonna do that race. That's happening the last week of July. So that will be a nice race that will happen in the middle of the year, because I don't have any races lined up in the middle. end of the year, I got San Antonio, of course. You know, that's like the home course. And I'm either gonna do the Las Vegas or the New York marathon, which I'm super psyched to apply, which I should do that soon because the application window is gonna close soon. So yeah, any questions, drop them down below. Hopefully you enjoyed my overview of the 2024 LA Marathon. So my legs are about to fall off, and for some reason I'm still taking the stairs. I'm trying to find where I parked. Ugh. I'm not sure if I can catch Francisco. I wanted to get my DSLR and get some pictures of him finishing the race, but not sure if I'm going to be able to do that, unfortunately. I have no idea where my car is. Where are you guys? I finally found my baby. I found the ST. Oh man, my legs are killing me. My feet are killing me. My calves are killing me. I just want to take a nap right now. I'm not even hungry. Oh. Okay, it's been like an hour. I'm still stuck in the parking garage. The traffic is that bad. Maybe I should have just had lunch here, but I've already waited this long. I guess we'll continue the sunk cost fallacy and eat back at home. I was not sure what to make. I could just eat out back at home. That would be good. Maybe some Hawaiian barbecue would be nice. That sounds good. I'm at Lazy Dog eating celebratory Cajun fries. There's the meatloaf. Looking great.